We felt, those of us who are still around, that it would be necessary to make a clarification of what happened yesterday, to put the records straight. Yesterday, the Senate did not, I repeat, did not pass transfer of results, which was in the 2022 Act. What we passed, and which the Senate President himself, when he was doing a clarification sitting on his chair, is transmission of results. And I need to make this very clear. Every one of us who is a senator, who has the privilege to represent a senatorial district, came here under the trust of their senatorial zone. And the reason for us to go into a closed session was so that we can tidy up all the niggling things inside there. And when we now come back to plenary to pass it, that we will pass it without any rancor. I can assure you, on my honor and the honor of all of us who are standing here, that both the Electoral Committee of the Senate, then the Ad hoc Committee of the Senate, and also in the executive session that we had, that we all agreed on section 63, which is electronic transmission of votes, or electronic transmission of results. Transmit, not transfer. What is in 2022 is transfer. And we don't want a law that is vague. We don't want a law that will be misinterpreted by anybody. We want a law that is clear, concise, and can be interpreted by all, and that is unambiguous. So it is electronic transmission of results. Yes, thank you. I think we can end it here because we've done what.
Hello everyone, you did watch that video and you saw what Senator Abaribe was saying. What Akpabio came out to talk about is quite different from what they did. And People's Gazette has it. He said a group of senators on Thursday accused Senate President Akpabio of removing the passage of electronic transmission of election results from the electoral bill passed during proceeding on Wednesday. During a press conference on Thursday, the senators led by Eyinaya Abaribe, Aminu Tambuwa, and Natasha Akpoti insisted on retaining electronic transmission of election results in the electoral bill. Speaking during the press conference in a video seen by People's Gazette, Mr. Abaribe said it was necessary to make a clarification on Wednesday's proceedings to put the record straight. He said the Senate did not pass the transfer of results, which was in the 2022 Act. What we passed, and which the Senate President himself, when he was doing a clarification sitting on his chair, is transmission of result. I can assure you on my honor and on the honor of all of us here that both the Electoral Committee of the Senate and the Ad hoc Committee of the Senate, and also in the executive session that we had, that we all agreed that section 60, subsection 3, which is electronic transmission of result, transmit, not transfer. What's in the 2022 Act is transfer, and we don't want a law that is vague or can be misinterpreted. We want a law that is clear, concise, and can be interpreted by all, and that is unambiguous. So it is electronic transmission of result. The Nigerian Senate on Wednesday announced the passage of the Electoral Act 2022 Repeal and Enactment Bill 2026 while rejecting a proposed amendment to make electronic transmission of election results compulsory. The Senate instead announced the retainment of the 2022 framework, which mandates manual completion, signing, stamping, and distribution of results to party agents and security personnel, with results announced at polling units and transferred in a manner as prescribed by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, without mandating electronic transmission. And all of you know that's where the rule mago it's done, where they come in, results are changed anyhow and all of that. And what Nigerians are demanding for, it's real-time electronic transmission of results. As the results are coming in, let them go all the way out. The requirement to present a physical permanent voter card remains in place, and the use of bimodal voter accreditation system (BVAS) or other INEC prescribed devices for verification was also upheld. And in the way this, I'm going to end also with a video, of Akpabio saying that, oh, they did not remove that, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, sometimes I think Akpabio think that our mental capacity is the same thing at his own level. Thank you so much for watching.
There was no deliberate attempt on the part of the Nigerian Senate to delay the amendment of the Electoral Act. Our intention had always been to ensure that we do our best and we do it painstakingly, taking our time to ensure that what comes out reflects the yearnings and aspirations of all Nigerians. And also to be sure that the next election, all questions connected with the next election will be answered by the amendments to the Electoral Act 2022. But the social media already is awash with the fact that the Senate has rejected electronic transmission. That is not true. That is not true. Electronic transmission had always been in our act. And what we did was to return the electronic transmission, which had been in our act and which was used in 2022. So please do not allow people to confuse you. If you are in doubt, we will make up our final votes and proceedings available to you if you apply and you are entitled, so that you will see this Senate under my watch has not rejected electronic transmission of results. It's in my interest as a participant in the next election for such to be done. So please don't go with the crowd. Don't go with the crowd. We have retained what was in the previous provision. That's all we did. So if we rejected what was proposed by way of amendment and said, let's retain what was in the previous provision, the previous provision had made allowance, had made provision for electronic transmission. So it is still there as part of our laws. And I think we should be moving forward, not moving backwards. There is no way we can, in this era of electronics, will now be going backwards. So it's important to know that. So the membership of the conference committee